Even now, so many years after the silent era has faded into history, his image remains. It is an image known across the entire world, a silhouette that needs no introduction. We see the too tight coat, the baggy trousers, the oversized shoes pointing outwards. We see the small bowler hat perched on a mop of dark curls. And of course, we see the toothbrush mustache and the jaunty bamboo cane twirling with a life of its own. This is Charlie Chaplin. Or perhaps more accurately, this is his most beloved creation, the Tramp. He is a figure of pure cinema, a ghost from a bygone age who still walks among us. His gentle, melancholic smile forever captured on celluloid. His name speaks of laughter, but also of a deep and profound humanity that transcended language and borders. He was more than just a comedian. He was a storyteller, a director, a composer, and a visionary who saw the limitless potential of a new art form. In a time before movies could speak, he taught them how to convey the most complex human emotions. He could make you weep with a simple gesture, a downcast look, or a hopeful glance toward the horizon. His films were not merely a string of gags, they were intricate ballets of pathos and comedy, exploring themes of poverty, injustice, love, and the eternal struggle of the little man against an indifferent world. Charles Spencer Chaplin was born into the gaslit, grimy world of late Victorian London in 1889. His world was not one of comfort or security. His parents were music hall performers, their lives a constant gamble on the fickle tastes of the public. His father, Charles Sr., was a vocalist with a fine voice, but an even greater thirst for alcohol. The 5-year-old Charlie was pushed onto the stage to take her place. He sang a popular song, a small, brave figure in the glare of the footlights, and won over the crowd. The Chaplin brothers, Charlie and his older half-brother Sidney, were shuttled between grim workhouses and institutions for destitute children, places of cold charity and regimented misery. Charlie roamed the streets of London, learning to observe people, to mimic their walks, their gestures, their vanities, and their sorrows. The streets became his school. In the heart of this immense suffering, a keen and watchful artist was being forged, one who understood that the line between comedy and tragedy was often impossibly thin. Despite the hardship that surrounded him, the world of the theater remained a beacon of hope for young Charlie. It represented a chance for a different life, a way to transcend his circumstances through the magic of performance. After several odd jobs, he joined a clog dancing troupe called the 8 Lancashire Lads. This was a grueling life of constant touring, performing in provincial theatres across the country. He was a natural mimic and a gifted dancer, his small, agile body capable of extraordinary feats of grace and slapstick. The real breakthrough came when he was cast in a stage play called Sherlock Holmes. He played the role of Billy the Page Boy, a small but significant part that allowed him to tour not just Britain but also America for the first time. After the Sherlock Holmes tour ended, he joined the prestigious Fred Karno Comedy Company, a troupe renowned as a training ground for the best slapstick comedians of the era. Working with Fred Karno was like attending a university of comedy. Chaplin learned the art of pantomime, the importance of precise timing, and how to construct a gag from the ground up. In 1913, while performing with the Karno Company in New York, Chaplin caught the attention of Max Sennett, the head of Keystone Studios. Sennett was the undisputed king of slapstick film comedy. An offer was made, a contract to work in motion pictures in a place called Hollywood, a dusty, sun-drenched suburb of Los Angeles filled with orange groves and film sets. For Chaplin, it was a gamble. He was hesitant to leave the security of the stage for the flickering, uncertain world of film. Tasked with creating a funny costume, Chaplin went to the wardrobe department and, piece by piece, assembled an iconic new identity. Baggy pants, a tight coat, a small bowler hat, large shoes, a toothbrush mustache, and a bamboo cane. The moment he put on the costume and began to walk, he felt the character come alive. He understood him instantly. This was the Tramp, a figure of resilience and pathos, a social outcast with the refined manners of a nobleman. The character was an immediate success with audiences. They responded to his blend of comedy and sadness, his defiant optimism in the face of constant adversity. With the creation of the Tramp, Charlie Chaplin's ascent was absolutely meteoric. The character resonated with audiences on a level that no film personality had before. The Tramp was universal. He was the perpetual outsider, battling against authority figures, bullies, and the sheer bad luck of a hostile world. Yet he never gave up. He would dust himself off after every fall, twirl his cane, and shuffle hopefully down the road. This blend of slapstick comedy and poignant vulnerability was nothing short of revolutionary. In a single year at Keystone, Chaplin made 35 films, rapidly moving from a supporting player to the studio's biggest star. His ambition was greater than Max Sennett's factory-like studio could contain. Chaplin wanted more creative freedom. He wanted to write, direct, and control every aspect of his films. By 1919, his fame was so immense that he was able to co-found his own studio, United Artists, with Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks. This unprecedented move gave him absolute artistic independence. The boy from the London slums had become the king of Hollywood, a global icon whose popularity transcended cultures and continents. The Little Tramp was not just a character in a movie, he was a symbol of hope for millions around the world. With the freedom of United Artists, Chaplin embarked on his most ambitious work, moving from short comedies to full-length feature films. His first feature, The Kid in 1921, was a daring blend of comedy and drama, directly inspired by his own traumatic childhood. His 1931 film, City Lights, tells of the Tramp's love for a blind flower girl, a poignant and hilarious tale many consider his finest work. The film's final scene is one of cinema's most emotionally devastating moments. His next major film, Modern Times in 1936, was another silent masterpiece. The Tramp confronts the dehumanizing effects of the industrial age, gets swallowed by machinery, and struggles against the relentless assembly line. It was Chaplin's farewell to his most famous creation. At the end, the Tramp doesn't walk alone. He walks hand in hand with a companion played by Paulette Goddard, heading toward the dawn and an uncertain future. It was the last time the world would see the Little Tramp on screen. In 1940, with the world on the brink of war, he made his first true sound film, The Great Dictator. Chaplin played a dual role, a humble Jewish barber and Adenoid Hinkle, a buffoonish caricature of Hitler. At a time when America was officially neutral, Chaplin delivered a powerful condemnation of fascism. Despite being the world's most beloved entertainer, Chaplin's later years in America were fraught with controversy. His political views, which were always sympathetic to the poor and critical of unchecked capitalism, drew suspicion in an increasingly conservative America. The powerful gossip columnist Hedda Hopper and the FBI under J. Edgar Hoover mounted a relentless smear campaign against him. He was branded a fellow traveler and a dangerous subversive. At a press conference for his film Monsieur Verdoux, he was aggressively questioned about his political allegiances and his failure to become an American citizen. The man who had made the world laugh became a target of outrage and political persecution. The breaking point came in 1952. Chaplin had sailed to London for the world premiere of his new film, Limelight. While he was at sea, the United States Attorney General announced that Chaplin's re-entry permit had been revoked. Stunned and deeply wounded by this betrayal from the country that had made him a star, Chaplin made a painful decision. He would not go back. He chose a life of exile over submitting to such a humiliating ordeal. Chaplin and his family settled in Switzerland, where he would live for the rest of his life. The nation that had once celebrated him as a king had now cast him out. It was a sad and ironic final act to his American dream. Charlie Chaplin's impact on the art of cinema is immeasurable. He was one of its principal architects. Before Chaplin, film comedy was frantic chases and slapstick. He elevated comedy into an art form, pioneering comedy rooted in character, situation, and emotion. He infused films with social and political commentary. He was a voice for the voiceless. The Immigrant, Modern Times, The Great Dictator. He proved popular cinema could carry serious ideas and drive social change. He gave cinema a conscience. The Tramp became global folklore. The Little Tramp represented resilience, optimism, and the enduring struggle for dignity. He did not speak. His appeal transcended language and culture. He was understood and loved in the cities of Europe and the villages of Asia. Decades after his death, why does the story of Charlie Chaplin continue to resonate with such power? His films were born in a silent, black and white world, yet they still feel remarkably modern and profoundly moving. The answer lies in the timelessness of his themes. Poverty, loneliness, the search for love, the struggle of the individual against powerful, impersonal forces. When we watch the tramp share his meager meal with a stray dog, we see more than a gag. We see an act of kindness that speaks to our capacity for empathy. In 1972, America sought to make amends. Chaplin was invited back to Hollywood for an honorary Academy Award. The frail, emotional old man walked on stage, greeted by the longest standing ovation in Oscar history, a moment of profound reconciliation. Ultimately, Chaplin's story matters because it's a story about all of us. The little tramp, folly and grace, hope and sorrow, is a mirror in which we see ourselves. He embodies our struggles and small victories, and our belief in a better tomorrow. He reminds us that even in the darkest times there is room for laughter, dignity, and a reason to keep walking. The echo of his shuffling feet and the twirl of his bamboo cane still linger, a timeless, beautiful whisper of hope for humanity. Charlie Chaplin, the boy from the London slums who became the world's greatest entertainer, teaching us all that from the deepest suffering can come the most profound art, and that laughter truly is the best medicine for the human soul.